All right, looks like we're live. Who dares stream tonight, huh? Of all nights. I was just watching I don't even know what you call it, presidential town hall competing streams. I don't know what else you call it. And I'm going to try and sort out the format. And in order to do that, I'm going to need to bring in White Mr. T.
Oh,
How's it going, Rob?
good, mate. How are you? I prefer to go with the unmuscularly Zangief would be
Ooh,
my
I like that.
yeah.
Yeah, sweet, man. I dig the hair. I like it.
Thank you. We're in lockdown here, man. So it's just we can't get a haircut. So it's up to us.
You might. That's like one of the signs of the apocalypse is pretty soon everybody will be painting their faces. Maybe next week you'll have like I could see the God of War. I can't remember what his face paint looks like, but he's got some face paint going on there. I could see that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I could see that in my future as well.
short future. Maybe it could be a stretch goal. So I didn't know what to call this stream, so I said, "What does the Australian think?" And so we're just the whole night tonight. I realize there's politics going on, but Roland says, "Please let this be wholesome." I just spent 2 hours with a friend in crisis and need a palate cleanser. I hope so. I think we can be wholesome, but we'll see what happens, I guess. you never know. We could start a crisis here. Bianca Fights a Zombie says, "Aloha, dudes." We have a good day, mates. And let's see. Hi, White Mr. T. See, I'm not the first one. I'm guessing I wasn't the first one, though, huh? Did that get brought up? Was it just today? I saw you earlier streaming.
Yeah. I had it yesterday. I did it yesterday afternoon. So it's been a day.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
Very good. The memes have begun, I see. Sign up for Replicator 3. Comrade. All right. I love that.
Beautiful.
We're going to look. You've had a good day, though, really. Why don't I'm going to share my screen. We'll get over to Replicator. You just launched this morning, right? You've only been going for a few hours.
6.5 hours now. So pretty decent, man. Really.
Yeah. How does this line up compared to your other campaigns?
Oh, night and day. Last campaign, things were meant to happen. I was meant to launch on the stream. It didn't work out. It's just the way it is. My fault. And I pretty much I launched with a whimper just before bed because I said I'd launch on that day. And yeah, this is like crazy.
So launching live versus launching, and I assume you sent the email out to your mailing list last time, but it's just not the same.
Yeah, well, I was meant to launch on a stream, so I was waiting for that particular stream to get back to me and work out when it was going to happen, and it just never happened.
Yeah,
that's my fault. Like I should have just done something earlier.
Sure.
But it is what it is. But in comparison, yeah, night and day. I think the first day on the last campaign we had like 30 backers. So.
Wow. Well, that's very good. It's all these little things, I guess mistakes perhaps along the way, but when you can compare it to something else, to me, I find this so helpful to just know that having a stream when you launch, even a small stream, is really helpful. It just, I don't know, it makes it timely, I guess. People back it right away. So that's great.
I mean, ever since that last campaign where things didn't go the way I was expecting, I started that how to crowdfund document. I just, with everything I've learned of things to do and not to do, and we've been following that with this and with Kozor, and it's been sensational. Like it's been, we did 149 backers on Kozor day one. We're at 121 on this, and like. We're not as well known as you or Charlie or Von or Eric, or we're not as probably in those circles where you go on Ethan's show every now and then. Mm-hmm. So that's really good numbers for us. Really, really good numbers for us.
Super respectable numbers. I think my first campaign, Downcast 1, uh, it got a little confusing, but by the time I woke up the next morning, it was like $12,000. But in that there was a mistake because a backer had backed $2,500, and I thought it
Wow,
was just a donation, and then they refunded it like 2 days
oh,
later. So
brutal.
but if you factor that in, it was like somewhere around $10,000 the first, by the time I don't know if it was the first 24 hours, but the next morning, so I don't know. To me, that was always sort of my benchmark, because I wanted to pass 10 grand in the first 24 hours. And obviously that's going to, depend on the campaign, but it looks like you could do that. That's totally possible.
Yeah, yeah. It's I haven't really like thought about it at the moment. Like we've been
Yeah.
nonstop since 6, which is 6.5 hours ago for everyone else. And we started off on how to draw comics for a couple of hours, and then it was Mandy, and then Shane, and now I'm here. And then after here, I've got Michael Bancroft, and then I've got Dan Fragg after that. So,
Great.
it's you haven't had much of a moment to sit back and go, holy shit, I'm at 121 backers and, nearly
Right.
$8,200. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, it's amazing.
You just keep going. It's great though. I'm impressed. I think it looks good. And I think one of the things that interests me is, so generally in comics, when you've got the number one, everyone's buying the book, and then on number two there's a massive drop off. That's how it is, generally speaking. If you're selling books through Diamond or anywhere,
Yeah, in mainstream for sure.
in mainstream, yes. Like retail, that's how it works. But in crowdfunding,
Totally different.
it seems to snowball a little bit, and partially because I think people are still buying the number ones. You know what I mean? They're getting into your book. Like here we go. Here's a comment from K Manifesto. Just received Downcast 1 and 2. Looks like you did too, Rob. Appreciate you for backing it. Already finished volume. Great stuff. Thank you. Yeah, I think that is a really cool part of crowdfunding, is as long as you still have the number one available, people can still get into it. And so you haven't really seen your full sales of number one, because you're still out there and promoting it. It's almost like the whole series is sort of you're just promoting the whole series, and it kind of snowballs over time.
Yeah, like 100% agree. And like, I could talk about this stuff for days. Like, I find it just so interesting. But yeah, like, I think there's a huge factor of like, if you can get your book into people's hands, they can read it, like they can see that you can deliver, then they're pretty much like, they're going to be at least very much considering back in the second one. And, if you do the same thing, they'll be back for the third. Like, it's building that relationship and rapport and trust with people is a huge thing.
Absolutely. Well, that's great. So have you seen a lot of, I'm just sort of assuming here, I was looking at the art. The art looks amazing. I want to get on that. But are you selling Replicator number 1 and number 2 here as well?
Yeah, that's the featured perk. So you can pick up all 3 issues there. And we've got secret perks for that, and the all 3 covers, which is doing really well as well. But yeah, there's heaps to talk about with it. It's gone great.
That's cool, man. I find it interesting, and we'll be slightly casual this time, but I do want to look at. Okay, so one thing right off the bat, you have such a great record with having great looking books, great artists on every single installment, and that makes a big difference. But you're so good at picking artists that they get taken for other jobs, like Aaron Alfecci, and so this is a new artist, but again, it's like the same. This looks so cool.
Yeah, I think with Aaron, incredible talent. He was always going to be going to the top. It's kind of like you're a high school person and you're dating like Miss Universe kind of thing, right? Eventually they're going to leave you and go off on their own and conquer the world. I think that's kind of where Aaron was, and he needs to be working on six-figure campaigns because he deserves to, because he's that good.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I don't want to say I was lucky, because it wasn't luck. It was me searching through hundreds of artists on Facebook and, you know, Twitter and wherever I can find them, and taking a risk and finding out that, you know, he's the real deal. Because when I first found him, all he had was like a couple of pages. Like, there was no book. There was no backlog of previous work to show that, like, you know, he started here and then he progressed to here. He was just at this level. And it's just like, that makes no sense, right? Because I reckon if you went back through Charlie's work, right, from when he started, you'd see like a progression upwards. Right? Aaron just didn't have anything. And I'm just like, that makes no sense. But anyway, I'm off point. He deserves to be working on good $100,000 campaigns.
Absolutely, man. Yeah, he's great. And that's sort of some of the fear from a writing, you know, when you're a writer, I say writer, but you're also often the producer, I guess, and you're financing the comic to get it up and going. There's a lot of hats you have to wear. But when you're doing that, like, I've run across artists where I'm like, this looks so good, and I want to hire them, and I'm kind of afraid that it's not really their work and they're going to just take my money, you know. So meeting people on the internet, I'll worry about that from time to time. And then sometimes you'll see portfolio items, and then you'll see a page, you know, turn in a page and you see it and you're like, no, this is not, something's wrong here. I don't know if this is not your portfolio, or you're showing stuff that you've spent an awful, you know, you really cherry picked your best pieces, but it's just not working.
Yeah, and that was the thing with Aaron. Like, I'm like, he's got no work. Like, how can a person like this exist? You don't just turn into a Ferrari overnight, right? You know, it's just like, it doesn't work that way. But with Aaron, it did. He is 100% legit and mind blowing. So it's just crazy.
Oh, that's great. Well, campaign looks good. I'm going to post a link right now, and if you're a moderator, just help us by you know, don't forget, I borrow ideas is already on it. Great job, thank you. Yeah, don't be ashamed to spam that in the chat. And I gotta say, to the 30 people that are watching, I really appreciate you being here. I know there's I don't know that it's really more interesting, but you could be watching the political stuff right now. We don't need to. We want to hear from the Australian. That's what we want to do.
From the Australian,
So very cool. Well, why don't you first tell us a little bit about the Replicator, especially for somebody that's totally new to it. I think that there ought to be more people backing this one and getting it for the first time. Yeah, tell us about it.
Yeah, so essentially, a virus is released into England. It kills millions of people. The rest of the world fears the what could happen if it gets out. So they leave England to rot. Two corporations try and take control. So one of them creates supes or mutants, whatever you want to call them, and the other, you know, is focused on technology like super soldiers and mechs, and they fight it out to take over. So that's essentially the overview of the storyline. So it's kind of like The Boys meets Ghost in the Shell / Gundam, set in Contagion.
Cool.
Yeah.
I like it. Well, it looks really cool. I especially like these. I think this is the first time I've seen these villains. I'm assuming they're like skeletons in a jar.
Yeah.
They're cool.
They're human soldiers, but they've got like a skull mask on, like it's like a skull over glass type thing.
Very cool. Well, yeah, great character design. That's another thing. You got some attention from crazy people on Reddit for, I think, a main character, this character design. A little bit of negative attention. Is there really negative attention though if they're talking about your book? I don't know.
It was so dumb, Clint. It's like the dumbest thing I've ever heard. It really was.
It was problematic, or it wasn't realistic. The one thing. Yeah, go ahead.
Sorry, one of the people was saying that as a male creator, you have to ask for permission to put female characters in that kind of outfit.
What?
Think about that. How does that work? I have to ask an imaginary character if it's okay for me to put them into that outfit. Makes no sense.
So I was gonna say, is there a female card? So this is like getting an N-word pass, if you heard of that. But you could get, this is a female, like you could get a pass. So aren't you married? You could just ask your wife. It's any random female. You could ask her permission. And does that count? Does that carry over?
Well, maybe, because I mean, you can't ask a fictional character whether or not they want to be put into some sort of outfit.
Certainly not. And if you're writing her, then you could technically give yourself written permission just in her voice.
Yes, that's right. I could put on a female accent and go for it.
Yeah, you could do it. Why not? That's so funny, man. The thing that gets me is people will say, oh, it's not realistic. Like that's, you couldn't move or whatever. Like they try to go this like utilitarian route. And it's like, have you seen superhero comics? That's the least of, what you're worried about here. And even looking at this, it's like, I don't know. You could move around. I could wear a get up like that. I'd move around pretty well.
Yeah, it's like you can't wear skin tight outfits if you want to move around. What about gymnasts? What do they wear? Magic.
Yeah, right.
They wear magic, do they? And I had another guy. He's like, this is typical, man. A male putting a female. She's half naked. I'm like, dude, what are you talking about? She's wearing leggings. And he's like, oh, I thought that was her skin color. And I'm like, what person has gray colored skin? Mate, these people are just crazy. It was insane.
And clearly there are lines that it's fabric. I don't know exactly which picture they saw, but great character design. Genuinely, I think it's fitting for. Kind of reminds me of Splinter Cell, maybe the video game. It's been so long since I played that. But same kind of like, I just picture her jumping out of the ceiling and mowing people down and then going back into stealth mode, or it's really cool.
Metal Gear Solid like.
Yeah,
for
sure, I could see that. Well, cool. So third time's the charm. As you're sort of building this up, how long did you want Replicator to end up being?
There's no set amount of issues I want it to be. It's ongoing. There is an endpoint that I want to get to. It's going to take a little time to get there, but it's going to be worth it. And there is no filler. There's no let's stand around the water cooler and talk about our feelings for a double page with word balloons everywhere. There's none of that. It's action, it's character development, and that's what it is, and it's a story that you won't see where it's going, and when you get there it's gonna do stuff to you. And I don't want to say what it's gonna do, because I don't want you to think about it too much. I want you to enjoy the ride.
Yeah. So for planning an ongoing, I love this, because now I'm kind of it's always been tough for me in planning out how long your story is going to be in comics. Because again, like my first campaign, I was like, I might only get this one chance. And so I tried to write a book that gave you some kind of resolution, but left it open-ended. And then I thought I'll do one more and I'll just round it off nicely. And then now, and it just kind of, it affects the way that you tell the story. And now it's like, okay, I'm just going to make Downcast ongoing, because we got a publisher and people seem to like it. People that are getting it seem to like it. So it has changed completely with how I'm thinking of it. And I've been writing it in 6-issue story arcs, sort of going forward. And that it just is a little bit more freeing. As you're writing this ongoing, do you plan it in story arcs, or is it sort of one all-encompassing story?
I plan it more in issues, really. I have certain things that I want to accomplish in each issue, and I'm not bogged down by having to have a certain page count. Like, for example, this should be 28 pages. The first 2 are 28 pages, but it would have crammed the art in, and it wouldn't have been as visually impactful. So I'm just like, F it, let's kick it up to 32 pages, right? And since we're at 32 pages now, that's an extra 4 pages. Why don't we add a page in here? Because that, that'll make things flow better and look better. And, why don't we make this one a splash page, right? And I can do crazy things, man. I've got 2 double page spreads in here, 2 of them, not just 1, 2. And I can do that stuff. I don't have to do what they want me to do. And that's the best thing about this stuff.
I love that. Yeah, that's cool. I've did my first, wrote my first double page spread, because it usually seems like the pages are at a premium and I want to tell a lot of story. But in Downcast, what will be Downcast 3 or issue 5 through Alterna, I put in a double page spread, and it was fun because I don't know. It feels like very few words. Like, I try to be very descriptive. This is what I want. Is a big spoiler alert. It's gonna be a big city shot, and each of the characters is gonna be in it. And I'm trying to put in details, but it's like all that we're here for is to take a moment and just enjoy the scenery. We're just enjoying what is on the page at this moment, and that's it. There's not a whole lot of storytelling outside of that. So you let the readers kind of just relax and enjoy it and take in the moment.
Yeah,
absolutely. And Charlie's here now. Charlie, how's it going?
I am enjoying what is on that page. That is beautiful. And I am not just talking about the Kanan White artwork. I am talking about the handsome and the wonderful, the mohawked Rob. Looking good. Looking happy and healthy, man.
Yeah. Thank you, Charlie. I'm just going to grab a shot of Agua. I'll be 1 second, literally.
All right. Absolutely, brother.
Very cool. How about that? Look at that cover.
That is goddamn rad. It is so.
I love that. That's cool.
Fantastic. Spinning and swirling and smashing and popping. Guys falling all around her. Kanan White.
Blood is spraying. Yeah. So Kanan did this one.
Yeah.
And Clayton colored it, right? I was watching him color that one.
Yeah, he did. Clayton is legit, man. Like, I talk about how good Aaron is. Clayton can do it all. He can do it all. He can do pencils, inks, colors, whatever else. He probably could animate it too if he wanted to. Like, he knows how to do it. I actually think, like, this is big talk. I think he's probably one of the best colorists in Comicsgate.
There aren't enough colorists.
No, there's not.
There aren't.
Are not.
Charlie Stevens is okay. He's pretty good.
He's all right. You were asking me to do one, and here was Clayton. Just ask Clayton.
No, Clayton's too busy. Clayton's too busy.
Charlie's not. I love that. This is Rob Willis too.
Yeah, man. Talk about busy and awesome.
I know. So in the back room, I won't share too much, but you were working on getting this colored.
Yeah.
You have it finished, a colored version of this? Not yet?
No. So what we decided was, I'm not going to name names because it's not what we do, but I just don't think the person that colored it gels with the piece, like his coloring style. So that's on me for choosing the wrong person. So I think what we're going to do, we're just going to leave it black and white, and we're going to do a black and white book.
Oh, cool. So this will be the black and white through and through, black and white version of the book.
Yeah. And black and white internals.
I love that. And sometimes you don't know when it comes to colorists until you try them out on the art. And that's what's been so difficult, I think, with colorists, is that you can see like, oh, this is a nice piece, but when you pair it up, it might not fit. It doesn't always fit.
Yeah, exactly. Like this guy, he's a legit quality colorist, right? But I just don't think that his style works for this particular piece. Yeah. But you put him on anything else and he'd kill it. Rob Willis drew that K Manifesto. Rob Willis is an absolute savage.
Dude, that is so badass. He can't not be badass when he draws. I would wonder, if he was going to draw babies, they would be jacked and punching each other in the face and leaping.
He draw the baby from the boys that shoots the eye lasers out and kills everyone.
That's right.
That's what he would draw if he was drawing babies.
Something I've noticed about his okay, so there's have you guys ever read Blood Meridian by Cormac McCarthy? Kind of random, I know, but there's a section at the beginning of the book where it says that there's this guy. He was a little skinny, he was young, but he had thick wrists, and that meant that he could win fights. There's something both symbolic and the utility of having strong, thick wrists means you're a good fighter. And when I look at Rob Willis's art, the men, especially, like, their wrists they just go right into the muscle. It's like thick wrists, and there's it makes them look so tough, but it is like symbolically, it just makes them seem like a bigger person. Even when it comes down to the muscle, like, they can be really muscly, but those thick wrists just add a layer of danger. You don't want to mess with those guys.
When I look at Rob Willis's work, man, I don't understand how he does it. Like, I understand he's putting pencil on paper, but the way he gets shadows, and like when he does striations in chest muscles, like, come on, bro.
Yeah, the tendons under the skin and muscle, and
I still find it amazing that, like, you can put pencil on paper and make something that looks like this. I think it's crazy.
Absolutely. I would love to see an art book. There are a few artists out there that I just think I would totally buy a coffee table book or something. You just go through and just pour over his artwork. It's so great.
That would be a sick idea, like a CG art book. That would be cool.
Absolutely. Charlie's another one. I think, like, Charlie's got so many good pieces. I'd love to see. I want an art book I could put on my coffee table. I could
imagine getting like a couple of pieces from Charlie, a couple of pieces from Rob, from Aaron, from Clayton, John Malin, Shane Date. Like, dude, how good would that be?
Absolutely, man.
I'll buy that.
I would love that. So that's
an idea has been hatched.
It's a good idea. I love it.
Alcohol and juice study.
Rick Saylor says, Clint, I got Downcast 1/2 yesterday, man. I'm loving it. Thanks. Hey, appreciate it. Thank you so much. This is one thing I love hearing back from readers. That's probably one of my most prized things. Like, I'll get a lot of customer service emails, but when I get someone will email me and they said, hey, I just read it and here's what I think, or can't believe this happened, or they say something about the story, that is like cloud nine. That's the best possible thing. And so it was I got several people emailing me, and one person in particular was very convincing, but they're like, you have to do more Downcast, and that is just the coolest thing. So I thought, well, if you read the books, you like it, I'm gonna do more. So I love hearing that. So thank you so much.
It's crazy, isn't it? Like, it feels a whole lot different coming from a back, and then like even getting a really, really good review, like, that's cool. But hearing it from a backer is more impressive. Like, it feels better.
There's something about reviewers that it gets complicated in that they're doing it for the public eye, So, and it doesn't mean that it's necessarily less valid, but it feels that way, kind of. Or you're more suspicious whether it's a very good review or a very negative review. It's so public. But when you just hear from a reader who didn't need to say anything, they have no skin in the game whatsoever, and they just say, hey, this, that, and the other, that is I don't know, it's really cool. That's like, I think, especially as a writer, I would think it's like the number one thing. Someone actually read my story. I love it. So
yeah, for sure. Matthew Fowler says, Rob, Kanan, Weldon, Malin, and Charlie are my top 5 CG artists. Thank you. I appreciate being in your top 5, Matthew.
Absolutely.
Thank you. And then he's a great storyteller, and he's been all around. And Rob, it's Rob that you're drawing from the power of the Mohawk. You're Samson of Australia. Grow it long and keep powering through with all the hard skills. And the beard to match. You are starting to look. Who was the Russian in Street Fighter?
Dude. You should be on here 10 minutes ago, Charlie.
We just pulled up a picture and everything. Yeah. Totally. You totally do. I've got to refresh.
Zangief.
Thank you, Phil.
Yes. Oh wait, Clint, are you about to make me very happy?
I hope
With that
so.
fresh?
I posted the link, but I think I saw an email, so I'm refreshing this. Yes. Congratulations,
Oh.
Charlie. We've
Look at
crossed
that.
over $75,000. Thank you so much. Really, really appreciate that. That's so great. So this means officially, if you backed this collector's bundle, you are getting book plate. Rob loves this idea.
Whoa, not a book plate.
He
You,
loves
sir, you, sir, are a madman. Madman, I tell you.
it. Yeah. But that's not all.
Two book plates.
You get a book plate that'll be in your book. It'll be signed by Charlie, so you'll have both of our signatures. You're also everyone is going to get a bookmark. Everybody is going to get a sticker. It's going to be the greatest and best sticker you've ever had. I'm trying to channel Trump here. And that means the next stretch goal is 80,000, and everyone will get a trading card when we hit that. So we're just trying to give out stuff as much as we can. That makes it fun. And look out, 80K, here we come. That's right.
Can I just say 75,000 is impressive? You know what really impresses me? That you've got 1,444 backers. That is legit.
Yeah, that it is. It's crazy. That's a lot of backers. I've never had over 1,000. It's always like right up there close, like flirting with 1,000 backers. But being that far over 1,000 is impressive.
My very, very first campaign, 96 backers, Clint. 96.
And I mean, and you know, kudos.
Yeah.
The thing is, it's like
Crazy, huh?
if you think about it, do you know 100 people that you would call? I mean, you know 100 people, but really, like having 100 people in one room is kind of a lot of people.
Yeah.
Having 1,000 people in one room, you think about that many people you've reached. That's a lot of people. So I don't know. It just underlines how difficult crowdfunding is to get it out to that many people, but also how, I don't know, amazing it is, I guess. Because before self-publishing, it'd be even more difficult, I think, to reach those people. So, Charlie, here you go. This is it. This is the sign up for Replicator 3, comrade.
Who made it?
I don't know, actually. Lord Lovebomb. Mate, no, I don't know.
Oh, Lord Lovebomb's funny. Also, I remember being a kid playing that game. Boy, I love Street Fighter.
Great game.
That was also the last time I was really into a game, especially when they added Bruce Lee to the game. That was the one I played the most. Do you guys have that? Who else was in it? Bruce. Oh, I always just played as Bruce Lee. It was the coolest. But I remember being a kid seeing Zangief and thinking, he's so hairy. And now that I'm...
Is that not terrifying? Is that not...
so upset.
What is this?
You should be dating a Alita Battle Angel.
Right. That is like the thing of nightmares right there.
I try to decide what is this supposed to be. Your eyes have been surgically made bigger, it looks like, by Photoshop, or is that the natural eye size?
I hope not. If that's the natural eye size, I'm in trouble. Jeez Louise.
It's just penetrating. Wow, LOL. Wow. That's all you can say.
I'm gonna take that off now. I can't see that anymore. I can't see that anymore.
That's pretty great.
I'm just going to turn off the washing machine. It's beeping and it's going to drive me insane.
Oh, do it. That's important. Let's see. We got that one. Rick Saylor says, honestly, from a fan, all these books are underrated and all should have double the backers. I think, we get there over time, because I've got to wonder even with Cyberfrog, he's sold so many books, but how many additional number ones has he sold since the campaign was over, or the campaigns were over? There's got to be a ton. So I don't know. I just see things growing. It's just crowdfunding. The difficulty is just getting out to enough people. But I don't know. Over time, you get them sold. So the great CG Oracle. Oh, go ahead, Rob.
I was just going to say, I think that there is a thing like once you deliver on one campaign, people tend to pick up. You know, like they tend to believe that you can do it.
Absolutely.
They'll back you.
Yeah. And that makes sense too. It you know, people trust in you. They have to trust you. You're not going to take their money. And in this case, the great CG Oracle says, okay, I backed all 3 covers. So
beautiful. Legend.
I'm going to refresh this because we're early enough that it can't feel bad. There we go.
Wow.
6 additional backers. You're climbing.
Yeah, that's great. That's great.
That is so beautiful.
Yeah.
I want to beat Kozor today. I want to beat Bancroft. You know, we have like a healthy rivalry,
right?
where we rub it in each other's faces if we beat each other. So that's going to be fun.
What was totally. Kozor's day 1? 15?
149 backers. 149 backers.
You're close. That's totally doable. So in one day, and then you had your goal, your public facing goal. I think a lot of people don't quite understand this, but your public facing goal was $355. I'm guessing because currency exchange. It just seems like such a random number, but it's low. Yeah, that's the goal. Yeah. What this means is I'm making this book no matter what, basically. And so you might as well you're shooting for the stars here. So then you have your real goal that you usually don't say much about. I don't know, maybe you do. But anyway, so I don't know, it's just cool because I imagine you're doing well. I don't want to make any estimates yet. It's still young, but I think you're on track to do very well.
Well, I mean, we've only been up for 7 hours now, so I mean that's pretty damn good for like, you know, anyone really. So
it is. I think you're making. I don't know. You're probably competing with even someone like Rob Liefeld. You know, I don't think his campaign day 1. I'm not sure how well it did, but there's a lot of professionals that you know, that wouldn't even be able to do this well in this short period of time. So, and I've seen like even those Vampirella, the ones run by Dynamite, they've had a few on the homepage of like, I can't even remember. I'll have to look at specifics here. I don't want to make claims, but
honestly, I don't get those.
Neither do I. I'm just not interested. There's too many of them. But see, it's gone now. It was up here recently, but they had this Vampirella one that had a bunch of different new covers. The covers looked great, but they weren't even. It was like they had $2,000 after being up for quite a while. Where is it? There's Fatal. I don't know. At this point, it's probably lost. So. Yeah, well, that's all right. Anyway, so Replicator 3, check it out, get in there, back it, help him beat the other Australians. There can only be one king of Australia.
And who will it be? Bancroft?
Oh, that was good. That was good, Charlie. Bloody Bancroft, eh?
If you put... Oh, and we've got... How many are there? There's Corey, Clayton, Rob, Michael Bancroft. How many other Aussies?
A couple.
Yeah, those are the ones we've had on our show. That's for sure. I was going to say there's a couple, probably a couple more out there. I think.
I don't think so. Those are the only 4 Australians that matter.
That's true.
We're invading. We're taking over.
Yeah, absolutely.
What's the first invasion? Manhattan, North Carolina. What are you going to do first?
I want to come for the food, man. I want to come for some barbecue.
Barbecue.
Texas?
You want to go to Texas? Yeah. There you go. Yeah.
Texas and St. Louis and Texas have the barbecue, I think.
Yeah, I really hope that this CG meetup thing goes ahead because that would be sick. I'd really like to come out and say hello to people, but you know, we'll have to see.
I'd love to. Yeah, I'd love to do a convention, especially that one. It makes me a little nervous though. Like, I don't know, people knowing who I am, seeing me, that seems weird. But It would be fun.
You've already been doxxed twice.
They could come over, I guess, and bring me cookies or something. That could happen. Who knows?
Wait, is that an invite? Are you inviting us all to Salt Lake?
No, you guys, it would be fine. It'd be fine. It's strangers that I don't know. That scares me. But
yeah, so we're lucky here. No one gives a shit. Oh, sorry, you're a PG channel, aren't you? Sorry, Clint. Sorry.
It's okay. It's okay. So I do have an important question for you, though, Rob.
Yes.
If aliens visited the planet and they were picking one country to survive, but the only way that you could prove to them that you ought to be around would be to show them something from Australia, what would be the one thing that would keep aliens from destroying Australia?
Rob's
the most impressive thing in Australia you can think of.
My answer stands. Yeah, that's what he's thinking too. That's why he'll say it, because he wants to be humble.
I don't know. Margot Robbie.
Oh, that's good.
Oh,
That's very good. Yeah,
that is a good answer.
that's
I
right.
plucked that out of nowhere. I don't know where that came from.
No,
She
that's
is
good.
extraordinary.
Yeah, here,
And-
Jasper Plant. Sorry, go ahead, Charlie.
When all these beautiful people come up out of Australia, Thor and his three brothers, the fourth brother, is it the fourth brother or the third brother? He's the ugly guy in the family. He's the most handsome person you've ever met.
Isn't he?
Imagine being him growing up.
I've
Imagine being
only-
growing up.
I
I'm the
only knew
ugly
there was
brother.
two of them.
Yeah, there's a third guy. He was in Westworld, and he looks a little more like Matt Damon. Imagine Matt Damon was saying, "I am the ugly one." So, but there's something weird that happens down there. I think it's because you're not around Hollywood and everybody's spaced out. If people this handsome as Margot Robbie or Hemsworth grew up in California, they'd be idiots because everybody would give them everything, and they'd be let in everywhere. And everywhere they went, people say, "You're so handsome. Look at you. Oh my goodness, you're so beautiful. What can we do for you? Come into the restaurant." But in Australia, there's nothing. So they just feel like everybody else out there, just trying to not get bit by a poisonous snake or swallowed by some viper in the middle of the night. So they come to America and they're normal. They sound normal.
To be fair, Clint, I mean, Charlie, we do have our share of train wrecks as well.
They just don't get movies, I guess.
They just don't get moved. Yeah, that's exactly how it is.
They're kept quiet.
Wait, do you mean train wrecks
What-
kind of act like pigs from Hollywood, or do you mean train wrecks looks wise?
Oh, both.
Yeah, all right.
Yeah, like that's saying that, like, you know, they fell out of the ugly tree and hit every branch on the way down, kind of thing.
Yeah. I like the funny thing, Rob. I'm gonna get a little outside here, but I love bringing up Australia because I guarantee that everyone brings it up when you get on streams. I can see it on your face.
Fosters, mate. Yeah. We don't like Fosters.
It's funny because when I get on streams, everybody was like, "Hey, polygamy," you know, like they always want to talk about that I'm Mormon, you know. They always bring that up, and so I think it's funny just to see someone else you're trying to be polite.
The funniest thing
I get a little joy.
is when, like, you guys are joking about some American thing and I'm just sitting there like an idiot going, I have no idea what you're talking about. And people are like, why aren't you laughing? I'm like, I fucking have no idea what you're saying. That's why.
What's an American thing that you don't know about that people have been talking about?
Oh, I don't know. This happened a long time ago. It was when I was on one of Ethan's shows, and people were like, Rob, why are you upset? Why are you sad? It's just a joke. I'm like, yeah, if I understood it, I would laugh along too.
Yeah,
I have no idea what you're talking
it's the way that it goes, I guess.
If you're just a reclusive shut-in, the same thing applies, because I was listening when everybody was talking about Tiger King, and I just thought, I haven't watched it. I'm not gonna watch it. You're all laughing. I guess it's funny. Everybody's doing the impression to the point. There were so many Carol Jaspins. Like I could do part of the impression in the
Carol
name.
Baskin. Yeah.
Baskin. I have no idea what it is. Carol Baskins. It was everywhere right when the pandemic started.
Yeah.
Right, and it's just, and then it's gone. It's totally gone. Like Honey Boo Boo. And
Do you remember How to Make a Murder? How to Make a Murderer or whatever, that Netflix documentary is. When that thing hit, it was like everyone was calling up I don't even remember what state it was, Wisconsin or something, Wyoming. I don't remember. They were calling up the police department. They were protesting. And then now it's just whatever. Like no one cares anymore. It's kind of amazing how one little documentary can send the culture into a frenzy for at least a few days. Absolutely.
Yeah, dude. And all day, Tiger King was funny. Yeah, everybody liked
in February.
it. I should have watched it and been part of the culture. But I always feel like I might as well live in Australia. I might as well just be in the outback in a little hut, fending off whatever random poisonous thing is in the yard. And I didn't say no eating my baby.
Yeah, well, I mean, we have a stupid tax here, right? So like you'll have tourists that come over, and they're mainly of one nationality. I'm not gonna name names, right? But our surf
Chinese.
Here is really dangerous, right? We have lifesavers that set up flags that you should swim in between, because outside of that is dangerous, right? And these people, they just go swim wherever they want, and it's like crazy. It's absolutely insane. Like these are
Americans.
a big island called Cape Woolomai, right? And no one surfs there, like none of the Australians. And I went there just to have a look, and there were people from overseas swimming in there. Like,
is it racist to say who it is, or is it just good manners?
It's good manners, isn't it?
So there are other white people then, I take it.
Maybe not.
Just teasing. Yeah, I don't know. It's funny. It's funny how that all works.
It's Americans, right?
It's not.
Americans?
No. And like, we learn to do things that, like, you shake out your shoe if you leave your shoes outside, because spiders get in there. And when you're walking through like bushland, you make lots of noise with your feet because they're snakes, and snakes will go away. This kind of stuff. If you're not taught it, you might be in a bit of trouble.
Yeah, absolutely. Well,
is it Chinese people?
He's just gonna keep guessing.
I need to know what nationality this is. Manilans. Are they Manilans?
Let's talk about Replicator.
Let's talk about Replicator.
So Rob, we have more people in the chat now. People are here visiting, and we appreciate everyone for coming to watch this stream. The man of the hour is Rob Arnold, the Replicator, and his book is crushing it. You've only been up for 7 hours or so, and already it's looking like you very well could be the king of Australia. So check out the campaign. It looks great. Give us a pitch for all those newbies that should be backing this one, where they get number 1, 2, and 3.
Yeah, it's set in England. A virus kills millions of people. England's abandoned by the rest of the world, left to rot in fear of the outbreak that could happen worldwide. 2 corporations see it as an opportunity to take control. One of them uses machines and mechs, and the other creates supes or mutants, and they battle it out to take over.
Very cool. Looks sweet, and each campaign you're just, I don't know, snowballing it. So that's great. So check out Replicator. It's in the link in the description, and also I think we're doing a pretty good job of spamming it in the chat, but just, I'll post it again right there too. Great art. Good point. Vaughn, what is your thought on all of this?
I have no idea why it's called Replicator.
No, I'm just
The main
kidding.
character, the main character is the Replicator. He hasn't been revealed yet, but he has the ability to replicate things. So you take, for example, right, he has a gun with 6 bullets in it, a 6-shooter, right?
Right.
He shoots all those 6 bullets, but he continually replicates, so he's got an unlimited amount of bullets. Then he takes that same gun with 6 bullets and he replicates it into both hands. So now he's got 2 guns. He shoots those bullets and he replicates those bullets as they're flying. So those 2 bullets become 6 or 12 and the whole mess.
Dang, dude, don't give that guy a shotty. Okay. No. So like, okay. And we haven't met him yet?
Well, we have, but he hasn't turned into what he's going to turn into yet.
Okay, yeah, we're building up to his superpower.
Final
to his reveal.
That's cool. That's cool. Well, I thank you for letting me do your trailer, dude. I loved doing that. That was actually kind of fun.
Thank you for doing it for me because I was running out of time.
Yeah, I knew you were probably sweating, and I'm like, dude, I'm going to make this fast. It's going to be painless. He's going to go, yeah, good enough, and we're going to head off with this trailer that we just threw together. I think it came out pretty cool, man. I'm happy with it.
Right off into the sunset together, man.
We work well together. What can I say?
Let's watch it. I totally forspaced about watching a trailer, so let's do that. Maybe it'll work. I don't know.
None of you are prepared. Prepared to do what it takes. You wanted a better world.
These are cool.
I'm here to give it to you.
Replicator returned with 32 pages of glorious full-color art, including covers from Dan Fraga, Kanan White, and Rob Willis. If you're new to the series, you can also pick up issue 1 and 2 with art from Jawbreakers and Graveyard Shift 3 artist Aaron Alfendi. Replicator 3, Mutants versus Machines. Back in the day, only on Indiegogo.
Sweet. Yeah. That motion stuff at the end there did you do that too, Vaughn? That was
no,
sweet.
Not at all. He gave me that and he was like, I don't know, do something. And I was like, dude, I've got ideas for this. I was like, open it with a little animation and then end it with like the full thing. You know, you get the money shot at the end of the porno, like make your trailer emulate porno and then you have success. That's my method.
That's the key. Love it. I love the music too.
Yeah.
It is almost as if
okay, guys.
It's almost
Rob, they busted us.
It's almost as if I'm guessing you Googled epic, commercially free epic trailer music.
Dude, that's exactly what I did.
That's exactly what happened.
I know. There's not enough when I Google that because to me it was like I need commercially free too. I don't want to get problems. And it was like you had 2 choices if you Google that. So
and that was really good. I really liked that one because it had the slow start with those heavy notes, like those boom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is. Yeah. It's perfect.
I mean, it does give you a nice dramatic opening. And Rob was like, I want that. And I'm like, well, we could steal a little from Clint's.
Do it.
I wanted that. Do you remember when the Avengers Ultron trailer came out and that was sick? And you're like, you're just puppets.
Oh yeah,
strings.
Yeah.
That was
the Pinocchio music in the background, but it was creepy.
Pinocchio.
Yeah.
So
totally.
Yeah. Fun stuff though. It was
very, very cool.
So yeah, I feel like people with a keen ear might notice we copied it, but hopefully not because almost every trailer's like that now.
I mean, it doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter. It would.
You're the only one that noticed, Fon. Like I wouldn't have noticed, and I've watched the Fatal trailer. Like, actually watched it like probably 10 times that day because I really liked what you guys did with it.
All right,
cool, man. I'm glad you like that.
Yeah.
That was a good one. That was a good trailer.
It turned
Sorry,
out
I'm biased.
It turned out great. I definitely want to do that every time. it's
Yeah.
now it's a must. Like you have to have some kind of trailer that sells the story. It's better than any pitch you could do
100%.
because the music, makes the hair on your neck stand up, and it's
Yeah.
great. So
Yeah,
It's a Hollywood thing, isn't it? It's what they do in Hollywood. So
yeah.
there's a reason for it, right?
It's called hooking them, and not everyone even watches the trailer. So you want to make sure those that do get hit. Like it has to hit something on their heartstrings. The art has to wow them. I have very limited technology with what I can do, but I do my best with the right music, the right timing, the right passion in the voice. I feel like you can really make it. It can make a difference in a trailer.
you do say that not everyone watches them, but everyone you go on a stream with plays it.
That's a great point.
Like you go on Malin, you go on Ethan, you go on Clint Stoker, they will all play the trailer. So if you've got a crap trailer,
it's going to stand out.
I've made
People
that
will see it.
mistake. I've learned my lesson. But yeah, it's great. It gets people talking. For me, I keep saying this, but it's true. But as the writer, it gives you a chance to show off some writing too, which usually, even if you got a lettered page on there or something, a lot of people aren't even reading it. They just kind of look at it. And so it's kind of nice to just force feed them some of your writing, and put that in there. I think it's great that way. So
I think that there is a minimum with trailers that you have to do now. Like there has to be a voiceover. You can't just do sliding images with text. Like you have to have a voiceover at the bare minimum now.
Yeah, the bar has just been raised. With everybody doing it, it's kind of like now you have to do it. So it's been good though. I think the campaigns in general, Comicsgate campaigns they're just great, professional looking campaigns. As long as you're willing to put in the effort, Rob, you got 2 other streams tonight. What time do you need to leave?
Like 15. I'll leave in 15. Next one's 2.
Sounds good. I don't want to. I've had before. I feel like I'm taking someone hostage, and they're like, "I'm really sorry, I have to go." And I had no idea. So don't feel bad. Like we'll just talk, and when you have to leave, no big deal.
It's the thing. Like I wish I could hang out more instead of just talking about the book. But
you've got a long road ahead, my friend.
It's a lot of talking about the book. Well, you picked up another backer. The trailer worked. We'll say
beautiful.
We'll chalk that up to the trailer.
Beautiful.
9,000 is really not that far away. A few backers will get you there.
Hell yeah.
So I saw Dan Fraga is doing or did a cover for this too.
He's doing one. Yeah.
That's epic.
Sweet. I love Dan Fraga's art. It's just so alive.
He's a wicked guy. Like I love Dan Fraga. Him and John Malin, especially those two, have been just beyond outstanding to me and the Barton Bros. They've been, they gave us a real good shot, and Fraga treats us like a normal person. Gives us an equal opportunity. So
I love him. I love that guy. The pros that join up with us all have amazing talent and great wisdom to them. I've noticed they're awesome on streams and stuff. They're hilarious. They're smart. They're funny. They got great stories. They show off their art in ways that are just awesome. It's like the excitement that they've brewed in fandom is historical, man. That we're what we're doing with Comicsgate. This is the most exciting thing in indie comics right now. And no one's talking about it. They're all like, is Trump gonna win? They're all clinched right now. That's okay. Let him worry. Let him cry when he wins. But we are the most exciting thing going on. And I just feel wow, man, other pros should just come on over here. It's all 1980s heavy metal magazine, 2000 AD over here. All the cool, weird creators, even if we don't make the best books, because not all of us can make Shakespeare. It's it's so cool to have these weird, kind of rare indie books that, are going to be in the future. You're just going to be able to look at this and remember those exciting times. If that makes sense. I don't know.
And a big part of it too, I think anyone could do this. None of this is rocket science, but what we're doing is we're helping each other. I had this conversation. I can't remember when. I was on a stream yesterday. I don't remember. But when I got into comics, it was so hard to network with people. That was my experience anyway. And you'd reach out to other people, and sometimes they're just downright. It was like they're trying to discourage you from getting into the game.
And it's that saying that they believe that the pie is only so big, right?
Yeah.
And so they don't want to share any of it, and they think that if you work together, you'll end up stealing their backers, which is just stupid.
That's not at all how it works. Yeah, and there's so much of that. Like I remember one guy I was using Facebook to try and network, and this one guy was like, I don't know if you're cut out for this. We were sharing things, trying to find a writers group or whatever. Anyway, I don't know. It was just so weird. And then so I was like, I need to find an artist. I'm just looking around. A lot of people ask about finding an artist, and he was like, you know what? If you post do press releases, because I went to school for public relations, you write press releases, and if you can get 10 placements for my book, then I will refer you to an artist that I know. Like no promises. They could turn you down.
That's a starving artist thing. One time I had this professor like use me to like put his opera that he wrote like way back in the 70s, friggin' opera, into like final draft, and he's like, I can pay you with the finest restaurant coupons in town. And I was just like, no, dude. No. Get out of here. And then he was like all dramatic about it. He was like, how could you do this to me? And I was just like, dude, you got to put this opera shit up. This is not the way to do things. Anyway, but he was really, he was like the first like Obi-Wan that he was like, how could you betray me? And I was like, you suck. I don't want to go to Chili's with a coupon on a date.
Are you guys movie buffs?
Yeah.
Do you know what movie this is from, or homage to?
That's familiar to me.
I think I want to say it's familiar, but I think I've seen a few where they're poking a knife against their neck. But
a knife coming out of the darkness.
Oh, out of the darkness.
Oh, yeah. The Professional, Leon. Professional.
Okay, yeah.
Well done. Well done.
Yeah, that's a great shot. I like that you homage that. That's even cooler to me now. Like now that I'm looking more at the knife coming out of the dark, like that's that shot exactly.
Yeah.
Ooh, that was a great shot. Yeah, I love it.
This is cool too. Because the last campaign was so successful, the book's nearly finished. Like we're 90% done pencils, 90% done inks. We're halfway through colors, right? And that's the cool thing. I could put the money from the last campaign into this campaign before we even launch. Like people are not going to have to wait a year for me to start the art, get it inked, get it penciled, get it colored. Like it's not going to take forever, which is a cool thing. I reckon it's awesome.
That's great, man. Very, that's so cool to get a head start on your next book too. I don't know, just getting the ball rolling. That's great.
I'm sure you're thinking about it with Fatal right now.
Yeah, well, I mean, there's always a bit of a lag, but if my dream is to be able to alternate between two stories and, be able to just keep it going. What I'd love to do is be able to post the campaign and it ship it as soon as you're finished. That would be great. What are you laughing at, Vaughn?
I'm laughing because I was thinking tonight about how campaigns are like relationships with women. And you're like, and like to hear you be like, I'm hoping to get two going at the same time, be able to maintain that. And I'm just like, hell yeah, Mormons. Hell yeah.
Oh, the man, the myth, the legend. Eric Withers.
Eric.
Eric, how's your hair doing?
It's still alive.
I just saw you in chat say all they talk about is my hair, so I had to bring it up.
That was the first thing you said when I came into the video. I came on stream the other day.
Yeah.
I said, "Oh no, your hair is gone."
All I've ever wanted is for people to talk about my beautiful hair.
It's okay. I forgive all of you.
It's when you have balding guys, it's like, they gotta appreciate the hair. So
they won't stop talking about my hair.
Hey, don't worry, I'll lose it someday.
No, I'm looking at it. You're over 30, right?
Mm-hmm.
That is stunning. That's just anchors.
Vaughn, what does everybody talk about with you when you're doing the circuit, you're trying to sell your book? What's the thing like? Oh, Vaughn, you're so rock and roll. You're so. That's.
I mean, I think Ethan called me a rock star like forever ago. People say I'm charismatic, and people say I pitch my books well with a lot of passion. Yeah, they use the word passion.
It's all compliments. They're never making fun of you. Is that just me?
I don't know. I mean, I'm sure people have busted my balls before. I don't know.
I'm just joking.
Yeah, I was like, no, totally. But like in general, yeah, people are really nice. I mean, Comicsgate's amazing. We are making this is unprecedented, man, for people trying to get something going with their dreams in indie comics. Like we're making it happen, man. I don't know. I'm just stoked to be part of this as I go to print with my book. I'm getting all like sentimental, I guess.
Yeah.
I'm giving birth. Okay. Very emotional.
Comicsgate is amazing.
Yeah,
it is. Yeah. I saw people talking in a live stream yesterday saying how Clint doesn't say Comicsgate on streams. I was like, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
So I just did it for the random people in the not my chat, in Ethan's. They didn't watch. They apparently don't watch my show. But anyway, that was
nobody does.
Nobody. Does. It's just us. Clint.
That's why you guys show up to promote your books to nobody. I'm sure.
That's right.
Hell yeah, Clint.
I'm sure that you get nothing out of this.
I'm going to talk. My show.
I just miss you. I just miss you.
I miss you too. It's been
it's nice, and I'm really stoked for Rob. Yeah, Zangief, no more wrestling bears. Now I make comics.
I'm trying to find that picture of Von I did. I give him crap because he looks like the bad guy from Sonic to me.
Dr. Robotnik?
Yeah.
Oh, from Sonic. I thought you said from Sunny.
Oh, yeah. So you mean the live action one with Jim Carrey?
Yes.
Yeah, I watched that with my little nephew. Huh. I didn't even think about that. I watched that. I was like, I didn't know it was Jim Carrey.
Now I gotta see a picture of it. from Sonic the Hedgehog. No,
I mean, I could see it. You could put my head on him.
I don't remember who did the video. Did you see that video? Somebody edited in. I'm dying. I can't remember who did this, but they pretend like it's a live stream. They make it up, and then they have everyone's avatar popping up that is speaking. And they had
6 a.m. Comics.
Was that 6 a.m. Comics who did it? But they had Vaughn show up, and he's like, "I'm doing something really metal right now with my cat."
It was perfect.
Yeah,
that guy is super talented, man. He's like I love all his raps. I want his whole album. That's cool.
I removed him.
Oh no!
I'm trying to. There we go.
Yeah. All day one backers get this. It's a ghost standee. You can use it in like Warhammer or D&D if that's your thing, or you can just put it on your desk and look cool.
Monopoly.
So, yeah.
Right. Day one backer. That's a good idea. Promoting day one backers. So anybody that's on the fence, you like to wait just for the blood to flow.
Here's something else for day one backers. One backer who backs on day one is going to get a piece of original art. I'll draw it at random from all the backers, and someone will get an original art.
You'll pick it at random.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so you're not drawing it.
No, I'll pick the piece of original art at random.
All right.
There's a question from K Manifesto regarding Fatal. Not to sound vain, but could the perk of the head sketch be of me? Charlie, you want to draw a likeness of K Manifesto in his head sketch?
Sure. Send a picture.
Okay. Problem solved. K Manifesto, it's official.
I didn't expect that to go that way. I thought it was going to be like, no.
Beautiful ladies only.
Drawing K Manifesto, I don't think it'll be any different than drawing one of these guys over here, Flynn or You know,
There,
maybe
unless he's got a really interesting face, composition that could be. Maybe he's not like 2 eyes, 1 nose, 1 mouth kind of fellow. But who knows? That could be fun to draw.
yeah.
That could be fun.
Let's share my screen.
Sure. Oh, you just passed $9,000 on Replicator.
Oh,
Holy cow!
Replicating cash.
32.
It's growing.
Congratulations, Rob.
Thank you.
Growing.
And
There's
congratulations to you, Eric.
Okay, that's
You
news.
see it? I see it, man. Go get some of the goggles.
Dude, look up Michael Shannon.
Yeah, I will. Hold on.
Okay. Yeah, you'd need to grow out your mustache a little bit more and wax it.
Give it the 12.
Yeah.
Like Charlie had 12, doesn't he, Charlie?
I used to. I trimmed it way back. I don't think
Me
it still
too.
twirls. Let me try.
Twirl your girls if you can.
Just get a black pen and just draw,
Here we go.
and then
I just the what? Oh, the goggles. I think I might have a pair of goggles like that, dude.
You got to comb your hair perfectly, gel your hair, and comb it.
I was a mad scientist one year before Monster MD. Yeah. Everyone says I look like the handsomer version of this dude, this actor.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah.
I was going to say his eyes are a little too far set.
Yeah.
Yeah. I met him in person, and he was actually taller than me too. But he was a really swell guy. We had some beers, and my friend just stood there drunk, looking at us back and forth the whole time. And every now and then he'd just mumble, "Uncanny."
He looks way creepier than you do, though, Von.
Yes, thank you. Yes.
Yeah, have you seen Boardwalk Empire? That dude
He's
was
so good.
Incredible.
He was my
Boardwalk
favorite.
Empire.
He's my favorite.
Him and Chalky White. The dude.
Oh, yeah,
Chalky
Chalky
White is extraordinary.
Michael K. Williams, is that his name? Chalky, the actor.
Maybe I don't know their names.
Okay.
There are a few
He's in The
actors
Wire.
out there that
He's on the
Don't-
wire. Yeah, as Omar. Omar Little.
Guys, I've got to head off.
There you go.
Get ready for the next one. Thank you so much for having me, Clint. If you guys want to come back and hang out on how to draw comics sometime today, you're welcome. But yeah, thanks for having me again. Thanks to everyone in chat for backing. Super humble and appreciative. So thank you again.
Thank you, Rob. Congratulations.
Congrats, man.
Well
Yeah,
done, Rob.
We'll keep watching it as it climbs. That's awesome.
Thanks, guys. Thank you. See ya.
See ya.
Okay, now that Rob's gone, just
Let's talk about Rob.
no, I was just looking at his campaign, and so to me, when I was smaller, I'm still small, but it's like when you pass 10K in the first day, that means you got a pretty strong start. To me, that was like,
Yeah.
that's like a good sort of benchmark. And obviously you always want to do better, but he's definitely going to pass 10K in the first 24 hours for sure.
That's
Absolutely.
a great start.
You guys do you have an estimate where he's going to land after 24 hours? Now that he's not here, it doesn't matter.
Probably 12, 13.
Yeah, I could see that.
I think that was my 24 for Flying Fortress.
Yeah.
I think I was about 12. So I could see him doing in the 30 range, probably by the end of it.
Yeah.
On the low side.
Yeah. I think that's a safe bet. 30. I bet it'll be somewhere between 30 and 40. And then I don't know if he's going in demand or what, but looks great. Yeah, I'm excited for him. We are picking up backers for Fatal, which is great. We're over 75,000. We got the extra stretch goals, and then 80K is the next one. Let's look at your guys' campaigns too, because you're here.
It's a good idea. We just reached a milestone for Battle Brick Road.
Nice.
On Replicator Man stream, on How to Draw Comics stream, we hit 72.
Woohoo, nice.
Very nice.
Todd, did you get that door, Eric?
Not yet.
Okay.
Not
You
yet.
seem like okay. Is that why you look over your shoulder?
Oh, well, I mean,
Watch out.
no, there's all sorts of stuff.
Okay.
It's a busy house.
Dude, 72 is killer, man.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Well done.
congratulations.
Eric
That's
Eric
awesome.
can make a book, man. Like he'll just be like, yeah, I'll draw it, I'll ink it, I'll do the lettering. I got this.
Yeah.
Guy's crazy.
Absolutely. Yeah, Eric, you're crushing it. That's so good. Are you gonna? I'm wondering though. Are you gonna jump ship from doing lettering down the road when you're?
Don't.
I know. I was like, what's gonna happen if Eric is like, yeah, I'm just gonna be doing a book, and
I would just
maybe-
letter my own.
I can't
Yeah.
quit you guys.
Yes. Broke
Don't
back
worry.
letterer.
Good answer.
I like that.
Monster
Commitment.
MD. Hold that up
Speaking of
as well.
commitment, Monster MD.
Oh, I thought you had like a that. Speaking of commitment, Monster MD. I was expecting like relationships or something. It's like Vaughn, what are you
Oh.
announcing?
I'll announce something.
Are we getting married, Vaughn?
I actually broke off a marriage right before I broke this campaign out.
Oh gosh, that's not where,
And
that's
it
not
was
where
the
I was
best-
going.
My point is this.
Yeah.
Like we all lose. Things get horrible. But for me, I just really believed in this book. And so I just put myself into it instead of letting my life, take that hit, right? Instead, I let that hit fuel me. And it pushed me to make like the best trailer I could, the best of everything. This book is me just giving my all. I doubt it's perfect. It's not Shakespeare. It's just a fun, exciting, hopefully good story that you can just really entertain the hell out of yourself with. And I'm really proud of it. Like flaws and all. I think it's going to be a killer book. And it's just the start of me writing even better stuff is what I'm excited about. Like working on this with this awesome team made me a better artist and writer. Working on comics is probably the most satisfying thing I've done. And I've done a lot of different stuff in the arts. I've done film, done all kinds of stuff. Like this is it for me. This is like that hot, like I said, like when it's like women, like campaigns are like women. Like comics is like women. Like everything's like women to me. Anyway, I keep
A
coming
refrigerator is
back to
like
comics. Yeah. Cold on the inside. No, I'm just kidding, girls. But no, it's cool to come back to comics and always be in love with it. And like my love has only grown over the years. And I think Monster MD is like a really good kind of example of that coming out. Like this is like comic making with love and energy again that I think might be missing from the industry, or at least it's the way I like to craft my stuff. So yeah, I can't quit this. She's the girl I keep coming back to. She's awesome. What else can I say? Monster MD is about a doctor of the local monsters who kind of wants out. He's about to get eaten every other day. But how do you get into monster mending? You find out. And where the story goes from there, you find out when he discovers someone out there is murdering monsters. And it might be someone from his past that he's not too stoked to meet up with again. So yeah, it's a cool story. Check it out. We're still open for biz as I go to print.
Very
Yeah.
good.
Are
I'm
you printing
excited.
extra?
Please do.
Huh?
Are you printing extra?
Yeah. Oh yes.
So people will still be able to get it after the print. Are you going to do the eBay stuff and all that?
I don't know about eBay. I just was thinking, hey, keep it open and let people get the books and let people do reviews and see what happens. See if more people want to hop on. Like hopefully word gets around. You don't know, but you just hope.
Once
Not
you
a bad
start,
idea.
once you
I would-
start shipping, people are going to back too.
Yeah.
Like you'll get a flood of
Everybody, everybody tells me that, so I'm stoked for that. I mean, hell yeah, more fans, more people to check out my book. I'm all for it.
So I say either leave it in demand and sell books that way, or put them on a site so that you can take home more money.
I've run online businesses before, and so my next step after the success of this book is setting up some sort of a website where people could just buy my stuff and make it fun.
That's my goal too. Maybe I'll have
Nice.
you do it.
You don't want to do that.
See, I love the idea of having.
Yeah, but
Sorry.
sorry. Go ahead.
Sorry, I love the idea of having a website. but like I've looked into it in the past, and it was to do a shopping cart, you're paying a monthly fee, unless there's some other way I can find around that. But I just hate that idea of paying a monthly fee just to have
not
it.
everyone has a monthly fee. Some
Yeah.
some online retailer, whatever they're called, set up things where, you know, Shopify or Big Cartel or whatever. Some of them will have a free
Shopping
amount
cart.
where you can sell up to maybe 5 items at no monthly charge. And then if you have 10 or 20, then you can get the professional and the elite and all of that. But it's something to look into. If the monthly fee is small enough, it might be less than what you're paying for in Indiegogo fees. So it might be worth it.
Yeah, it depends. Yeah, I think a big part is having more books. So now it's with Downcast, I've still got it open, and I still get people backing it, and I got a ton of people once the campaign was being fulfilled and people started getting books and posting it. Then I got a big influx of backers, which was cool. But then now it's kind of slowed down again. So
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just so hard to know. But I think imagine if you have a few titles, then it kind of will balance out, perhaps. I don't know. That's
I
my
think
theory.
so. And you can toy with it a little bit. If you just have a couple of books and a couple of prints, it might be enough for a free shop. Do you when you went into demand and you just had books, or so you're still selling books on Downcast too? Did you cut a lot of tiers out of your in demand store?
No, I keep thinking about, should I do that? I haven't. So,
Yeah.
but people basically almost all the new backers have been getting Downcast 1 and 2, like new readers.
Yeah.
Just getting 1 and 2 together. So
I'll have to do that for if in the inevitable distant future, Flying Fortress sequel, we're going to have to do something like that with a 1 and 2. But I'd have to go back to reprint with that. But I would like to have it on my own. Huh?
You're doing another Flying Fortress?
Why not follow up? I left it open for a sequel. I have a treatment written for 2 more volumes.
Okay. That's awesome, man. I didn't know if you were going to pull the trigger on that one.
I haven't fully decided, and you know, it's not just my project; it's co-owned, so we have to go through all those hoops.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, you know, why not?
No.
I got other stuff I want to do first. I've worked on Flying Fortress for 10 years.
I know. Like I just leave that one behind. I don't know. I have my comics that like I worked on and I did a little with, and then I'm just like, moving on. You know?
Yeah. It's tough. Most of the time I have so many ideas that I want to do, but not enough. I don't know. You have to kind of focus. But I had that idea for a Tomb Raider book. I'm never gonna write Tomb Raider, but I was thinking I'm gonna do a better Tomb Raider. I'm gonna do a ripoff, because that's just an Indiana Jones ripoff. Let's be honest.
Clint,
So it's like,
do that.
I'm gonna
just never say those words again.
Tomb Raider.
Just no. I mean, do it. Just never say what I'm planning is a Tomb Raider ripoff. I mean, I actually worked on a Latin America campaign for soap, and it was called Barbara Blade. And she was in the deodorant commercial. She's all about staying cool under pressure, and she's doing all the, you know, fighting guys with scimitars and going digging on the archaeological things and saving people. And she had Lara Croft's suit and an Indiana Jones fedora, and she's right. It's a straight ripoff. Now that's fine, and that would have been fine for the commercial, but Colgate was sued by whoever owns Tomb Raider, and they in Discovery, an email from the art director to me said, "Yeah, it's a Tomb Raider ripoff." And
that's all it took.
That's hilarious.
In Discovery, everything comes out, so they just presented it and said, "Look, here's the information. Here's the email. This is what they were trying to do." If they never said that, nobody knows.
I would make it I'd make it like a team book, actually. So it wouldn't even be like a 1-for-1. But yes, you're right.
No.
It'll be an adventure. What do we call it? a crypt exploration adventure story, something like that.
Nondescript archaeological adventure lady.
Yes, yeah.
You gotta
So
incorporate the rack. She got the rack, so it would be like,
Yeah.
with good rack. Just at the
Low
end.
poly.
Nondescript.
yeah, you know that they were meeting and they were like, man, we want to do an Indiana Jones video game, but how could we make him better? I know. Let's give him breasts. Let's give him a set.
Real.
Sharp ones. That's all
Just
they
make
have
it
to
a
do.
grave robber.
Eye gougers.
Also known as talent.
Say my name.
The rack.
Not Tomb Raider. Relic Hunter. I like that idea.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah,
Gold
I'm
Digger, the comic Gold Digger.
Gold Digger. That would work too. I like it. Sweet. So Battlebrook Road, you're over 72,000.
Yes.
That's
Yes.
fantastic. And a big one, and Rob brought this up too, is the backer number. And getting over 1,000 is great, but 1,300's fantastic.
Thank you.
So yeah, that's great. I don't know. It's just it's cool seeing everybody grow. You know?
It's fun, man. And that was, you have your hopes and dreams in terms of how well you want your campaign to do. You have your pie in the sky, everybody wants six figures and whatnot, but you also have what you hope are more realistic. And I was really hoping for that 1,000, and we got it within the first 60. So that was very nice. And I'm glad that Battlebrick Road has garnered enough attention that there are now 1,320 people that are just excited for it. And I love it. It gets me excited for it.
Yeah, that's great.
Can I ask, if you don't do Battlebrick Road 2 next, what will it be? Have you got something cooking?
Yeah, well, I've been working with a couple of guys on a book called Savage Wilds. So I'm still
Savage what?
Savage Wilds. I think it's a working title. I don't think it's the official title.
That's a good
But
title.
it's like Secret of Nim meets Lord of the Rings, sort of an animal. It's a furry comic, basically.
I'm out.
But it's about it's the hero's journey of a raccoon that lives in the junkyard, and he goes on a great adventure into the wilds and learns about all of the wild animals that are out there, and he becomes the hero of the story. It's a fun story, great family story.
It's cool.
And it's one that I want to do, and we've been working on it, and the scripts and character designs and stuff, and then the question I have is Battlebrick Road, how well is it going to be received? Should I go into Battlebrick Road 2 because there's 4 total books? Yeah. That's a question that I wrestle with a lot. I would like to bounce back and forth, but I don't want to lose momentum with Battlebrick Road and then switch to something. And I'm getting at. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, dude, you can't juggle 2 bitches. You can only do one at once.
Yes, that's exactly what I was saying.
Especially when you're drawing the thing,
Yeah.
that just takes so much effort.
And
Even though you would love to work with me, Eric. Oh yes.
Project Battle Axe. What?
Yes. Project Battle Axe.
What's that?
It's really cool, is what it is,
Really
guys.
cool.
It is one of the things we do have cooking in the background, but in the distance, there's this smoke on the
2033.
horizon.
Smoke.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, I'll see you guys from the rest home on this one. We're gonna make it happen.
That says more about me than it does you.
Crowdfund me. Stretch goals. New teeth.
New tennis balls for my walker.
New
Prostate
teeth, Viagra, and wassels.
But yeah, it's
Stay out of my way.
exciting. It's exciting epic that Eric and I want to do that's very heavy metal. It's very metal with my cat. And it'll be I'm excited for that one. Anyway.
Yeah.
I'm not saying anything else other than that.
Yeah.
Fair enough. I've got people making big plans for Dracula, and I'm like, I have like a little horror story, like one shot thing idea.
That's all it should be, I think. Yeah.
I know, but people are like, it was sketch therapy most recently. Dude, you need to make it like this lady. I'm like, the thing is, I don't own It's just public domain. It doesn't,
Mhm.
and I'll be honest, I'm not like, it's kind of it's a little bit of a gimmick, you know, like that's the secret. It's kind of the novelty, you know?
Mhm.
So
Does this
Gimmicks
kid have
sell.
what the old man had?
yeah, I don't know.
The
I'm
old,
like,
old
Can you
man.
live up to the legacy? That's what we want to know.
do I what?
Can you live up to the legacy handed down through generation?
Through my
Is it
13.
in you? Is it in your blood?
Yeah. Oh, well,
That's
I
what
guess-
we want to know.
I guess we'll find out.
We'll find
No,
out.
I have a cool little story, but the thing is, it's just a little story. It's like a one shot horror story that
I
I
know
think
we-
is super fun, you know?
For Dracula?
Yeah.
Okay, so it's not coming out to the. Are you saying it's not coming out to the book size that you're looking to do, or?
No, it's going to be 20, maybe 22 pages long is what it's gonna
Okay. Oh, you're gonna keep this one simple. I get it. Okay.
be. Yeah. It's just a little story. That's all it is.
Okay.
Okay. If you do it, would it be its own thing, its own campaign, or would you have it like an add-on for something? Stretch goal.
It'd be an add-on. I think the way to do it would be like kind of like an ash can, you know. I still want a full-size comic, but it would be like, here's the main campaign. Oh, by the way, did you see Dracula? It's over here, you know.
Yeah.
I did Dracula. That's the same thing Narwhal did. He was like, by the way, Nosferatu, if you're down, if we like
Yeah.
reach the stretch goal or something.
Yeah, I just think I've got too many. It's just tough to dedicate an entire campaign to a story that, to me, it's just a one shot, and it'll be cool. I'm excited about it, you know, but I don't really want to do some big epic, honestly. So
Yeah, that's cool.
Have you read
I think
Marv
if you-
Wolfman?
no.
What?
Marv
Legend,
Wolf-
Marv Wolfman, The Tomb of Dracula.
Yeah, to Dracula.
It's phenomenal. It's so good. And I don't know if you're about to embark on something. A lot of times I would
He's
say,
cool.
oh, I don't want to see what everybody else has done. I want to crack this egg, you know, on a separate frequency than maybe what somebody else has done. But if you want to look at a great book, Marv Wolfman did Dracula in was it the 70s, Vaughn?
Yeah, it was the 70s, I believe. It's a
That's so
classic.
good.
You could get like huge
Yeah.
tomes of them. Like Todd McFarlane, that's what got him drawing.
That's great.
Like that's the comic that made him want to pick up a pencil and draw, man. That's how good it is. It's magic.
It's
How
so
much you
and
check it out.
it's not long ago, maybe last year, Marv Wolfman, or in the springtime, he was on Billy Tucci's channel, and a bunch of these older fellows were Marv Wolf. It was everybody turned and said, "Holy shit, Marv Wolfman's here!" They were asking him questions, you know, the way it was Hitchcock of comics showed up to answer questions.
Yeah.
And it was awesome. It was such a good interview. If anybody's,
Oh,
wanna
that's
hear
so
it.
cool.
it's there. It's out there.
Great, man.
I love
That's
that.
cool.
That's cool. I
I'll
listen
have to give it a read. That would be great. To me, like one of the best vampire books is I Am Legend. I love
Yes.
that book. That book's the book that made me want to start writing. Like I love that book.
Yeah.
That's one of my favorite books, dude. I
Yeah.
love that one.
They're not zombies, they're vampires.
They're vampires. Yeah.
Yes.
By the way, have you seen the what's the comedian, the Kevin James sound guy to that movie?
No.
Okay, so Kevin James, like he has his own YouTube channel. He does these little like 2-3 minute short films, and he has a series called the Sound Guy, and he
Mhm.
pretend like he'll insert himself into a movie through blue screen and whatever, and he does the scene where Will Smith is pulls up in his Jeep at the I don't know, New York, but the mannequin is at the end of the road. And he's like, "What are you doing here, Frank? What are you doing here?" But instead of it being the mannequin, it's him as the sound guy. And he's like, "I'm just trying to get ambient sound. You know, don't shoot me." It's really funny. You should check it out. We can
It's
show it here.
the scene by
I'll look it up.
it's the scene by Grand Central Station.
There you go.
That's what that's all by. It's so
Oh,
funny.
that's
He did it with a couple of movies. He did it with what's the alcoholic singer with the chick who's meat.
A Star is Born.
Yeah.
Yes.
No, was it that or Walk the Line?
No, it was A Star Is Born.
Star is Born.
It's so funny. He's in the audience, like, me, and I don't know how they cut it. It's so fantastic.
That's cool. I'll have to look it up.
Yeah, highly recommended.
Very cool. I think I'm gonna refresh this. I think we got another backer, or did I refresh it? No, we did get another backer. Fantastic. Look at that. We're at 1448 now, backers. Thank you guys for supporting this campaign. I really appreciate that. 75,000 felt like it was a slog to get to. And now here we are, like we're on the way to 76. It'll be good.
Do we have a chance to get to 2,000 backers?
I have backers. I don't know. I'm not sure. I'll keep pushing the book. I don't know. I think we're gonna pass 1,500. I think that's very possible.
I'd love to see that 2,000 backers, man. That would be a nice round number to dive over the finish line with.
Yeah, that's huge.
Yeah.
That's a huge place to be. Yeah. So really cool stuff. I'm excited about this book. Yeah, we've added
so
this
cool.
the campaign today, posted this page. You can see it up close. I think this would look really cool. This doesn't mean anything, but I'm just saying like a newsprint would look cool. Everyone's always like, are you publishing it through Alterna? No, I haven't even submitted. I'm not even thinking about that right now. I'm just saying with this color tone, it looks cool. That's all I'm saying.
Do you guys ever do zip tone? I don't know how to do that.
Well, you draw in Photoshop, right?
Yeah.
You can do it in Photoshop pretty easily.
I could just
They
choose
have-
zip tone or half tone or something.
Yeah, they have a halftone filter, and you can adjust it to however many dots you want per pattern, things like that. And for traditional art, there is a way you can make your own zip tone by that same thing, because
Here's
it's
my
hard to
question.
come by these days.
Why?
They actually
Why-
stopped making it for a while because it went out of use, and then somebody found somebody in Japan that made it, and I think they do. They started remanufacturing it, but because a lot of artists like Daniel Warren Johnson and Matteo Scalera will use zip tone in their original art.
Oh, I like that guy. I know him. He
Yeah.
Did he do Black Science?
Yes,
Is that him?
I believe that's him.
That's a good book. Oh, but I kept reading all these books: Low, Black Science, Last Days of American Crime, right? And I just like the artist, and then I realized, oh shit, these are all Rick Remender books.
Mm-hmm.
And
I
he
realized,
hates you.
and then I realized, oh, that dude hates all of us. Oh no. All right, I won't buy another one, I guess. Thanks for coming.
Did you guys see him? Did you see him on Comic Tropes? Comic Tropes did an interview with him, and it was, I don't know, it was kind of hilarious. Like at the beginning, he's like, "Well, we're renting a house because no one around where we lived would wear masks." Like it was just this, like immediately all the same way my new local news station. That's all they talk about is masks. Or not.
No,
news,
what is with that?
local radio? It's like constantly talking about masks.
The leftists are going through hysterics right now as the election closes in, guys. And the masks thing is something they can't. I think it's a symptom of that.
It's
They're being
like it's
really neurotic.
it's a symbolic hill to die on too, which is weird because it's like it's just like I don't see someone on TV wearing a mask. It's like you won't get infected. They're on TV, you'll be fine. But it's just it's crazy to me.
Here's how bad it's gotten. This chick I'm seeing last night opened up her Instagram and said, "Look at this," and it was some post by some like SJW looking chick, and it was like, "Here's pictures of people I know, who are not wearing their masks," and she was doing this like social media call out, and you flip through picture after picture of just girls who are just like at a restaurant, posing together, smiling, having like living a life, like not breaking any real rules, you know? And it was something like you're getting publicly called out on social media now by people. It's gotten to be too much. I feel like our country's being held hostage by an insane mother, and I wanted to stop.
Named Karen.
Mommy, I want to go outside and play.
Helicopter government.
You know?
Yeah, it's just weird. And how we're getting into politics, everyone. I'm sorry.
Oh no,
I'm
I didn't
sorry.
try to-
All I was listening to today was Biden.
We don't have to
stuff.
talk.
That's all I wanted to hear.
We don't have to talk politics. It's just the public shaming is kind of a symptomatic of the culture war. Where these are the people that we're colliding with, so to speak.
Yeah.
So
No, I was going to turn it right into politics. That was the plan.
He took that steering wheel and just he's taking it.
It's like, no,
Hunter Biden crack pipe.
no, I saw that picture. I think that's so funny. I tried to look into these emails, and I didn't feel like I had enough of a handle on it to really. It's been kind of busy this week, but like that's the first thing I saw is Hunter Biden like asleep in a bathtub smoking a crack pipe or something. It's like, wow,
That's not even half the problem.
I know. That was just like some of the trimmings.
It is. There's more to come.
More to come. Yeah, some of this.
Wow.
And then so the whole format tonight, are they finished yet with the dueling town hall live streams? I don't know if that's still going or not, but that is the weirdest format.
The ones tonight are done. Yes.
Okay, they're done and over.
Yes.
That was the weirdest format. I kept going back and forth. Did you guys watch any of it?
I just watched Trump. I don't need to see Biden. I'm not voting for him.
I wanted to hear what he. I voted yesterday, by the way.
I have to wait till Monday, I think.
Yeah, I got my ballot, the mail-in ballot. So yeah, I voted. But anyway, it was weird going back and forth. What's that guy's name? No, I want to say George Alexopoulos, but it's not.
George Stephanopoulos.
Stephanopoulos. That's it. I'm like wrong person. George Stephanopoulos. How is it that he can be the moderator for a town hall debate for Joe Biden? He used to work for Clinton.
Yeah, he was a Clinton campaign manager back in the 90s.
I don't understand how that's okay. Like,
but he's unbiased.
I know you just set it aside, huh? To me, I thought it would be interesting if they get some guy from Fox News to do what the guy with the solid one-piece hair thing going on. Get him to do Joe Biden's, and then you could have whoever from CNN do or at the least get Wolf Blitzer apparently, because he was actually pressing Speaker of the House Nancy Pelosi. At least get Wolf Blitzer or like somebody besides George Stephanopoulos. It's just the funniest thing in the world to me.
I love it when they do that. Just let them try to stack the deck in their favor in all their little cheap, underhanded ways, and the people will see through it, and the people will be like, "Oh, that's lame." They're lame. Like they're losing so many voters with all their stuff they've been pulling out. The silent majority, in my opinion, has seen what's been going on. They've seen the cities burn. They've seen us be like terrorized by the freaking China flu, the Kung flu, and like they're trying to make us, they're trying to make us live in fear. And like I think it's all about control. Backfire. I think it's going to backfire hard.
It's all about control.
The Trump one, did you see the lady in the background?
She was my favorite.
Vigorously nodding. You could not ignore her. And they would get into any topic, whatever, racism or whatever, But what about white supremacy? They brought that up, and you can see her in the background just like wanting to jump in,
She was ready to debate for Trump.
I don't want to make assumptions, but she wasn't white. I'll put that in there. It was just so funny to me. Like
she was.
She's fed up. Never underestimate the power of people who are fed up.
Yeah.
Why do you think we have Comicsgate?
The lady was like, "Are you a white supremacist?" Basically, is what she was asking. I was like, "Oh, here we go again, right?" And then he goes, "What about Antifa?" And the lady in the background was like, Fantastic.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Fantastic.
No, they must check. Another thing too I've noticed with the whole
The real woke.
look, thank you, got another backer. Politics are working, guys. But another thing I noticed is that during if you guys watched any of the Supreme Court hearings and everything,
No.
I noticed that the people on the left were saying often activist judges. The word activist, though, so like generally it seems like on the right you can say, and I say it all the time, like they're activists working in comics, but they started saying it now. So I think that they have they've gotten some information, they have a focus group or something, and they found out that people don't like activists, especially right now. They're fed up with hearing it, so now they're trying to sort of adopt that language and use it the other direction, which has been, I don't know, it's interesting to watch. Because how do you ignore the activism that's going on? It has been going on for months.
It sucks, but it's just the truth of where we're at right now. They've turned the word activist into a dirty word, like because of their actions. They've like they're not participating in real activism. This is all destruction, and I think people see that.
Yeah.
Do they?
Some of them do.
I'm feeling it, but then again, I live in Oklahoma, so like maybe I'm, of course I spent 10 years in Chicago and I know they rabidly hate Trump. So one time at like 4 a.m. after like hanging out with this chick, like all I said was like, she made a comment about how men and women have the same kind of brain. And I went, no, we don't. And like, boom, like horrible fight. Neighbors are banging on the floor trying to get us to shut up. And I was like, look, man, I'm sorry that we have different brains. And she was just like, you are privileged. And I was like, yeah, it's my privilege to kick your ass out. And she got out. Burlesque dancer. Ugh.
I hope before you made her leave, you told her, if you were a dude, we would have never thought about this. A dude would have never reacted that way, baby.
If you were a dude, you'd totally be high-fiving me right now. We'd be going to breakfast. Dipshit.
But you're the science denier, Fawn. It's you that is denying.
Oh,
science.
yeah. Well, she was so bitter about it. I hadn't talked to her in months. And then one day I get a text and it's a link to an article that's like, actually, men and women brains are very similar. And I'm like, okay, let's just read this. I read it. And of course, it's like some feminist scientist in Chicago, like feminist scientist of color came up with this like theory about it in Chicago. And I'm just sitting there going, man, you're just reading the wrong articles. Let me show you some real deal science, and just like hit her with some like hardcore YouTube videos. And I never heard from her again.
You sent her down the flat Earth rabbit hole, and she never returned.
Yeah. I hope I help plant a seed that might grow into a mighty red pill oak. I don't know.
Yeah. You're like, men and women's brains they're similar. They're more similar than like human and ape brains, but still,
I'm starting to wonder.
I don't believe you. Sounds like you're a science
They
denier.
still think different. It's okay. It's okay to be different. It's okay. It's a good thing even to be different.
Well, it's more evolutionarily like advantageous for the man to bring something different to the table and the woman to bring something different, and then you get that like nice teamwork aspect of it because you both like cover each other's bases, and it's like you're able to survive a little better. There's like nothing. We're not society's not a trick that gets played on us into behaving and dressing a certain way. Like it's not. It's anyway.
It's generally helpful, and you can like this isn't it doesn't carry over to comics. Anyone could read comics, but obviously it just different things are going to appeal, generally speaking, differently.
No, it does carry over to comics though, doesn't it? Because we like different things. We want action, saving people, and
that's what I mean.
Explosions
though.
And
right.
The eight girls in the United States that read comics thinking, shouldn't they be sitting down having a conversation about how they feel and what food they eat?
Right. That's what I mean, though. You can make comics that blatantly target one or the other. I think that's been a bit of the problem, is they're trying to make books that oh, well, this, because men and women think the same, they should all like this kind of sitting over a cappuccino talking,
Mhm.
comic. Gilmore
You know what?
Girls.
You know what? Yeah, and girls think that's boring as hell. Like when I watch movies with my mom, she's like, she wants to watch like John Wick and like the Predator and stuff, and she's like, "You kill them, yeah!" She's like into the blood, but then like she will like feminine moments. So like when I have a feeling that must have influenced me because when I create, like I'm creating like bloody, horrific, hilarious, awesome action, very manga inspired action. But then I like totally put stuff in for the ladies, man. Like there's totally like chicks who have crushes on Dr. Black already. So I mean,
No, it's good having a romantic element. I think it makes a nice, well-rounded story.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with that.
is that Fatal? Does Fatal have that?
Yo, yeah.
Yeah, I think so. Not only that, there's potential. For
You
things to
think
develop,
so?
I think.
Dude, are we talking
I mean-
three-way?
Yeah.
No.
No, think more. I have no example.
Bizarre love triangle?
No, not a. She's
Every time I think of you. Sorry.
think it. Think of Flynn's a low down kind of guy flying through the galaxy, and
She's
trying to get
young-
laid. So he's trying to get
And the
laid
young-
wherever, just drop a load and leave.
That's right. And the young and lovely Moxie there, who's driving that hot red machine back there, she is interested, and her protector does not want her
Oh.
hanging out with him.
Right.
See?
He's not into it. She's kind of young and naive, and he's like, "Stay away! I'm a loader, a rebel." But then he hooks up with Blondie, right? And they share a cigarette.
They're-
Right when
And he
tells her-
lights 2 cigarettes, and then she's like, "Can I have one?" And then he hands her another cigarette and just keeps toking on 2.
he's the reluctant lover. No, I think there's room for development too, but we're only talking about 52 pages, so we're not going to try and squish it. My only I'll tease you boy Zach a little bit, but in Jawbreakers Lost Soul, the romance there it didn't have enough time to breathe. That's all I'll say. So it's like you can't rush all the way through it,
Yeah, it's tricky. It's hard, but if you build to it in some subtle ways, get it going. But it can be hard to put in when you're like trying to do an action comic. You gotta balance that out.
No, you hint at. I think you're right. You build toward it. So
my trick is to make major plot points like also have that slight romantic edge where they have to bond over something. I have this story where there's this devil who leaves hell to come to Earth and become mortal, so he can cure this hell virus that he has. Anyway, he's hanging out with this human chick. Every now and then the hell virus goes crazy and he like lifts up and you see like the cosmos like come out of, in his skin, and he's like turning into this vortex of doom, and she like has to like look him in the eyes, these like hellish eyes, and like talk him down and like be brave, talk him down. And she does. And like that's a major plot point. And he like is able to get his senses back and kind of fight off the virus for a minute. But like it's also like a bonding moment between them.
Does she tell him to be better?
Oh God, I better watch out for that. Be better. Yeah. If she had blue hair, yes. The blue hair edition.
Zach said if it was more of a booty call relationship. I don't know.
Oh, that's awesome.
Didn't they touch foreheads or something? Does that? I don't know. No, it's just fine. I'm just teasing. I thought it was good, and I really liked. I think he's been improving a ton too. So I'm excited for the next Jawbreakers.
Yeah.
But yeah, all I'm saying is, here we go. Romance is like a red wine. Give it time to breathe. You heard it here first. No, you work toward it. It's like anything else though in character development. Like you usually have some conflict and you overcome the conflict, and even if you've got I don't know, like Downcast, brother and sister. It's not romance, but you're just developing their relationship. The Ninja Turtles, you know, there's no romance there, but you're still developing the same concept. You're developing more of a relationship. It's just what is the end?
Casey and April. Casey and April was hot.
Right. Yes.
I mean, at least there was tension, right?
Yeah,
I think in the movie they got like they started to get close. I think.
Yeah, in the comics, they're in the newer comics, they became a thing.
That's hot. That's awesome. Like, I mean, they never had one of the turtles get with her. I hope that would like mess me up. I'd be like, he's only a teenager.
I know. The weird thing is, the turtles always had a crush on her. You know.
The thing that you've spotted is the teenager part, not the turtle part.
Oh yeah, that part.
In this day and age, that doesn't matter as much.
No, man, they would be celebrated. And they would get a flag. They would get a flag with green stripes and yellow stripes for pizza.
Totally. Yeah, man. Let's see. This is true too. Casey and April slow cooked at a cabin for several months, though.
That's hot.
That's true.
It's true. The tension was developing.
That's good.
Yeah, it was great. I just see the chat going. I'm not going to look too much into it. This has been a fun stream. I hope it's okay. Everybody leave a thumbs up. But I blatantly brought up politics. I've been a little hesitant because I don't want to alienate the audience, but at the same time, I kind of know that most people are generally speaking sort of on the same, you know.
We've already been all so alienated. Everyone here is alienated.
I know.
They're here because they've been alienated. They're with you, I think.
Yeah.
It's true. It's true. So I appreciate everybody.
And tis the season. Tis the season, right?
I know.
If you're ever going to talk about it, now's the time. And you're good at it. So everybody out there, hit that like button, subscribe, ring the bell for notifications. Because Clint is so good at talking politics, and he's reluctant to. I think you ought to do a little more. Go ahead, let it fly.
I hear different things. I don't know. I read all the comments. I'm that's why I get hesitant. But I think for the most part, I don't know. Well, it's probably fine. This is good advice.
You'll win some, you'll lose some, but you got to follow your heart.
Oh, that was
say what you think, dude.
Deep words.
Thank you.
Rack 3D says, "Nah, it's fine. Just don't focus on it and keep it light." Yeah, we still, bring it back to comics.
We used to, as a country, as a people, we used to be able to joke about this a whole lot more.
Yeah,
we should.
Absolutely.
We just should.
Yeah.
And it doesn't. I don't know. It's so strange because in real life, I talk to people all the time that don't have the same political beliefs.
How could you?
We were just talking about feminism. I've got a family member that's big time feminist, and I was like, "Hey, I just watched this documentary called The Red Pill. You should watch it. It's about a feminist that you guys seen it, The Red Pill."
Isn't that where the term red pilling kind of not originated, but at least gained popularity? I think it was from that documentary. Am I wrong?
I don't know. I'd heard of it well before, but
maybe that's where I heard it. I don't know.
Could be. I'm not sure, but a good documentary. But I was like, yeah, you should watch this. A feminist made it. She started a feminist and then left not a feminist. But anyway, yeah, you can have
convincing.
No, I didn't talk to her. It was just it was a documentary
in the movie, not his.
Yeah. No, not my family member.
My favorite story. Oh, sorry.
I'm done.
Oh, so I my favorite tale. She wrote a book on it. This chick decided to live as a man for, I don't know, it was like a while. It was like 6 months or something. Anyway, she like had a whole method and everything where she like became a man. She even gave herself like a little bit of stubble, and she started hanging with men and like getting to know us and what it's like to chill with us, and was bowling with them, and they were friends. She made friends. And then after some time, she came out to them like as a woman because she felt weird and guilty. But they were like, "How was the experience?" And she was like, "Man, I'm not going back there. It's cold and dark over there. I compliment you. Like, nobody tells me you're looking great. Go, girl. You can do science or anything." She was like, no, but she wrote a book about it where she's like, yeah, man, men. And she was like, men are hurting. So at least she was honest about it.
I watched that. She went out of her way to ask women on dates so that she could experience what that was like, and she was like, the rejection is just devastating.
Welcome to my world.
I know. I was like, that's how it goes, and then you have to pay for it, and like there's so many. And I'm not saying that any of this, I'm not on the boat that any of this really needs to change, but it's just the reality of how dating works. But and she was, if I'm thinking of the same thing, she was a lesbian, and she joined the bowling team with the guys, and afterward they're all, oh, I just thought he was gay. That's the funny thing.
And they were right.
They were right through the some acrobats of reality, but yeah, it's wild. Anyway, people are saying the Jack show is coming on or on now. I think we've had a great stream, so appreciate everybody coming on. I'm gonna wrap it up. Thank you to Vaughn, Eric, and Charlie for coming on to the show tonight. Always great to see all of you. And don't forget to check out Replicator 3. I'm gonna refresh this because why not? There we go. Wow, he's got up another $400. We'll take credit for that. Why not? Don't forget to back Fatal as well. We got to get to that 80 grand stretch goal. That's the next one. Battlebrook Road is here. And you should also back this and help it to also reach 80K stretch goal because, of course. And then Monster MD, 90K, which is not very far away, really. Very
Our
close.
books are so cool. These books are all so cool, man.
They are indeed.
They really are. Everybody should be.
And we're cool too.
We're cool.
We are cool. All right, everyone. Good night, and I'll see you tomorrow with a regular video. Bye-bye.